Alright, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to my live stream. Welcome back to WWE Monday Night Raw, December 9th, 2024. This is Jacob Cass. I'll make it like an hour. We will talk about Monday Night Raw. We'll talk about the news and women for AEW. We'll talk about some of the massive for Saturday Night Main Event. That's this Saturday. I thought the show was very good tonight. A lot of storytelling, a lot of new development. Go home show for the pay-per-view this Saturday. Now, make sure you guys hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see more. Make sure you guys enjoy this video. My video has been sponsored by my favorite YouTubers and podcasters like Salamonster, Fightful, JD, Just Alec, No DQ, Post Wrestling, and the other YouTubers that I know of. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys some of the matches for Saturday Night Main Event this Saturday. For the World Heavyweight Championship, Gunther defending against Damian Priest and Finn Balor. Hold on a second. Somehow my camera here, but keeps on freezing. Why is it going so damn slow? Oh, come on. I don't know what's going on here. It keeps on doing that. Trying to fix the camera. Alright. Balor, Gunther, Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship and a triple threat match for Saturday Night Main Event. Saturday Night Main Event. Alright. I think this will main event. I'm not sure. We got Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn on the pay-per-view. That's been official for Saturday Night Main Event. I'm looking forward to this match. It's just a filler feud to get them something to do. McIntyre just came back after Hell in a Cell. Sami Zayn, we know what he's doing on Raw. I don't think we saw Jey Uso tonight. I guess he saw the attack. Oh wait, hold on. We got Liv Morgan defending the Women's World Championship against Io Sky. Now this is also a filler feud. Man, forgot about it. It's just a one-off. This is a filler feud. I would like if they would surprise us or shock us and give it to Io Sky, but that's not gonna happen. It's just a filler feud until we get Liv and Rhea. So this is the fourth match, the Women's United States Championship match. Now it's gonna be this Friday on SmackDown. Bayley versus Chelsea versus, and then we got Micha and Tiffany Stratton. Whoever wins these matches on SmackDown will be on. Now this is the fourth match, I think. I think Bayley. I think it's gonna be Bayley and Tiffany, or it's gonna be Chelsea and Micha. Those are my predictions. I think Chelsea's gonna win it, or maybe Bayley. That's what I think. Now we got the main event: Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens for the WWE Championship. Should be a great match. The feud has been great. The promo, the brawl itself, is a great storytelling. This has been a great feud. I wish there was a stipulation to make it more interesting, but give me a good match. I wouldn't. I would be surprised if Kevin Owens won. I think Cody's gonna win it. The show with Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez and an anything goes match. Oh wait, probably got to skip it first. Matt this man wasn't giving them much time. This man feels worse. Oh wait, what? Alright. Man, this man is crazy. This man feels worse. Alright, so Rhea won the match. That's how the show ended. That's how the main event ended. Rhea Ripley won. She beat Raquel. We did see Liv Morgan get involved, and then Io Sky got involved and helped her win. Rhea hit the Riptide on Raquel to the table, pinned to 1, 2, 3. And then we got this moment. That's probably a teaser of Rhea and Io Sky. This is something that will not happen because Io Sky not beating Liv for that belt. She's not winning at Saturday Night Main Event. So it's just a tease that could happen, but not gonna happen. Alright. And that's how the show ended. Alright, now um now let's see. Hold on. Now I can go through the math card here. The New Day is playing the heel turn. Rollins is back after calling out CM Punk. Change to the main event. Sunday night main event. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anything here. These aren't the news and rumors, are they? I'll get to the news and rumors in just a little bit to show you guys Monday Night Raw. W expanding PLE to 2 nights. I hope not. I hope not every pay-per-view. Alright. Now before I get to the rest of the show, I might as well show y'all the podcast. Will be a title match. David Finlay and Brody King and Yosuke against Jack. Okay, so let's go back. This is gonna show you guys Denise Salcedo and her new co-host. Actually, wait a minute. Hold on. Was this show good? Of course it was. It was a great show. In the Rumble, and then probably the reason why neither one of them walk out for the world title. I definitely agree. I don't want this to keep going, but it seems very. Tonight, Monday. Have a roll on this show. Oh wait, hold on. Last week, a little too heavy on the women's wrestling tonight. One of the championship matches. Segments were really what carried the day. Tonight it was more of the same on the in-ring front. It was very weak. Really nothing great that I could point you to tonight. It was again carried by some of the non-wrestling segments on the show. It just so happened that those segments were not as dynamic and as memorable as the ones that we got last week. One thing I was waiting to see if maybe got some more clarity on or some more information on is this whole transfer window. Now, if you missed SmackDown on Friday, and I talked about this on the podcast this weekend as well, that there is going to be a transfer period between now and the beginning of the year, when WWE can and will shuffle talent around between Raw and SmackDown. And so all three general managers are negotiating, and so we're going to get some trades. We're going to get some where we have the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther walking out of Nick Aldis. He didn't say anything either.
So they gave you that little tease that these conversations were ongoing, but no, we did not get any new information on that front. What we did get was comments from CM Punk, and we got comments. CM Punk's this came in the form of a pre-taped sit-down interview, and Seth Rollins he danced his way out to the ring in his furry little outfit, and he sang his song and he talked about being a revolutionary and blah 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 blah. And then finally, he got into the meat of the matter, which was his rebuttal to what CM Punk said in his segment. And we're going to get into the details of what they talked about. Punk, by the way, as far as their dueling promos on each other, CM Punk easily won the night. And we'll get into the substance of what they said. Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins have seemingly settled their issues for now. Last week, they were at each other's throats on the microphone. It appears that they are Saturday night's main event card. We are less than a week away. I gotta tell you, I am more excited for this show on Saturday than I was going into Survivor Series.
Yeah, me too.
Both from the card itself, but also just from the nostalgia perspective. Now, they brought back Saturday night's main event in 2006, and it just wasn't the same. But they're really going all out as far as the throwback aspect of the show. Because everything from the graphics to the music, all elements of the show coming up on Saturday, they really are paying homage to the original Saturday night's main event. And that's what I grew up on. And not even so much the very first ones, but more so the ones that came in like 87, 88. That's really where I got into it. So I have a lot of great memories from those days. And those episodes of Saturday night's main event, the live main event specials that were usually on Fridays, and technically they were on Saturday night's main event, but I kind of lumped them all in together. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Jesse Ventura being back and doing he's broadcasting in some way, shape, or form. They've not specified yet exactly what Jesse is going to be doing, but he's going to be part of not only this weekend show, but all show. I don't know when the last, actually I do. It has never happened before. In the 10 years of the New Day, and all the great segments that they've had in those 10 years that you might be able to go back in your memory bank and think of, I guarantee you, there has never been a period of 3 straight weeks, 3 straight Monday nights, where the New Day had the best segment of the night and stole the show. Can't say that anymore. When they were going at it on, in the back 2 weeks ago, and Kofi was lobbing bombs at Woods, and Woods was lobbing bombs at Kofi, I loved it. It was great. Best thing on the entire show. Last week, the New Day celebration, the turn on Big E, fantastic stuff. Stole the show. So, curiosity got the better of me, and I was wondering, well, what are they going to do to follow up on this tonight? Probably come out and cut a promo. Well, they tried to. They tried to come out to the ring tonight and cut a promo, and it didn't exactly work out well, but it did in the best possible way because these two guys went out there, and they got nuclear. So Dominic Mysterio can no longer lay claim to, getting more interesting than they have been in 10 years.
Yeah.
So 3 straight weeks, that's pretty good. And then the way the show ended tonight, they had a Rhea Ripley, Raquel Rodriguez main event. It was a grudge match. They added a street fight stipulation to it late. You can figure why. You can figure who got involved in this match. But it was the parting shot that we had tonight on Monday Night Raw. That final shot of Rhea Ripley standing in the ring, clutching at the World Heavyweight Championship with Io Scott, who was going to be challenging Liv Morgan for the title on Saturday night's main event. Doesn't seem probably the most like Io really has a chance. It feels like they're buying time until they get back to Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, maybe on that first Raw on Netflix. But I'm watching the end of this show tonight, and I'm having, Tiffany Stratton calls them her Tiffany Epiphany. Well, I had a Solomonster Epiphany as I'm sitting here and I'm watching the end of the show, and I said, I know what they need to do. I know what they need to do, and I know what I want to see going into next year. And I'm going to tell you what that is. So we're going to go through all of it here, but I would be remiss if I did not start the stream.
I also just realized Braun Breaker was not on the show tonight, and he's the Intercontinental Champion. I don't know what's going on with Braun Breaker. Is he taking a week off? Maybe he had no challengers. I don't know.
with a little mitten. So was because Steve Cohen, the owner, we get to be the belle of the ball. The biggest thing about this, honestly, is that we will no longer, from this day forward, be little brother here in New York sports. Feel, right? I mean, it feels like Monopoly. It just feels like Monopoly. So I'm not gonna onions in my pants.
All right, now I can go back. I don't think well, yeah, because Denise, we know that Denise Salcedo was talking. She was actually interviewing wrestlers. I think for the pay-per-view. I think I don't know. Anyway, let's see their review. See what they talk. See what they say about Monday Night Raw.
You and I are on the same wavelength there. It did progressively get better. I thought that it was a shame that the women didn't get like a proper, like long main event match. It just felt really rushed. Like they put that commercial break like to give them coming back only like 4 minutes. But the little time that they had, they developed so much. The match was great. The feuds that are currently ongoing got developed. Feuds that could happen in the future got teased. And so it was all around just a good finish and a good, nice build up throughout the entire episode. So let's chat about it.
Yeah, I want to go ahead and start things off with the main event. We already started talking about that. So let's get to it. Rhea Ripley, Raquel Rodriguez, anything goes. Santi, I don't know about you, but this just felt right. I know you mentioned the brief amount of time that was given, and I 100% second you on that. I think like an additional 5 minutes would have really made this like one of the top women's matches that we've seen on Raw. At least for sure this entire year. I think it could have been really up there with an extra couple of minutes. It might still be really up there for me because it felt right in the sense that Rhea Ripley is such a massive star that this is where it feels right to have her on the main event. And of course, you know, we haven't seen her, you know, have a main event spot like this in quite a while. And then to see Raquel, who had also been out for health reasons for a good amount of time, come back and really get the ball rolling like this in such a, you know, big fashion for her. Dude, this
have this really underratedly good chemistry. Every single time that they have a match, I remember their feud in the fall of last year. I think it was like they had a match at Payback, and I think a match at Fastlane. They always just sort of clicked really, really well together, and it just sort of felt like it was picking up a bicycle and riding it again. They just felt right at home with one another. A couple of things I want to mention. You know, you mentioned that it's been a while since we've gotten Rhea Ripley in this spot. Joe Tessitore that was her first singles match in over a year on Monday Night Raw, which is kind of crazy to think about, that the women's world champion that was the women's world champion for so long on Monday Night Raw didn't have a singles match for for almost a year or over a year. I can't remember exactly what the quote was. I was also just really happy for Raquel to get a main event spot. I think that was great. And I felt like this was an expectedly good performance from Rhea Ripley in a good badass performance from Raquel. Somebody that needed it for her character, somebody that needed this badass showing as she goes into that Women's Intercontinental Championship tournament to feel like a genuine threat going into her initial matches. And I love the insertion of Io Sky. So when I was doing my watch along, one of the things that I said to my chat was kind of lame that they keep building Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley when the match that we have in like 5 days is Io versus Liv Morgan, and like on cue, Io Sky comes out to help continue to set up that feud, which I'm really excited for that match. But it was like that little finishing sequence, Denise, that finishing sequence of Io Sky and Rhea Ripley grabbing the title. Just another reminder from Triple H of look at the dream matches that I've yet to give you. And this is one of those dream matches that I think could be set up for something like WrestleMania. Because one of my Rumble favorites is Io Sky. I could see a world where Io wins the world title and Rhea takes that world title into WrestleMania. There's just so many cool progression of current storylines and creation of potential future storylines that just sort of got me giddy with that main event.
Dude, I'm so glad that you mentioned the portion with Io Sky. I kind of felt stupid because you mentioned okay, Triple H is letting us know there are still so many dream matches on the horizon. I feel so dumb that I didn't even think, hey, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky. I think my brain has just been so focused, of course, on everything that she's been doing with Liv, but also, sort of my dream fantasy or whatever, everyone's dream fantasy of seeing her and Bianca Belair. Hey, I saw the eyes, Santi. I don't know about you. Here's the thing. Io has always been talented. She's always had a lot she does to see her wrestle, to see any sort of moment that she gets.
About Io Sky because she spent so long in that tag team division when she wasn't really a tag team specialist. It's not really what she's known for. We always have known her as this great singles competitor. And unfortunately, at least this is my opinion, I don't feel like the WWE did a great job of following up her great feud with Bayley post WrestleMania 40. And by not doing a great job of following up, I mean, they didn't do jack shit. They didn't do anything with the follow up to what was a really great built up feud. And I felt like not having that follow up for Io Sky really damaged her single stock. And it took a while for her to come out of the ashes. And it took her a while to be in the tag team division, be in the shadows for a while. And then once she was once again re-unleashed into the women's singles picture, it was this kind of like reawakening for everybody that had to say, oh shit, how did I forget about how good Io Sky is? So it was a very quick crash course reintroduction into the women's main event scene for Io Sky in a women's main event scene that has not really had room for anybody else unless you're named Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. So it just sort of feels like we're getting something brand new when we're really not. Like Io Sky has been in a title picture before. She's been a main eventer before. But on Monday Night Raw, that it's been so closed off for anyone non-named Rhea and Liv that it just feels nice to have somebody brand new, a fresh face in the equation.
Yeah, even with Raquel, seeing her and Rhea, that felt exciting. And of course, you mentioned earlier that Trill and Bayley, and better yet, against people like Dakota Kai on a Raw. Of course,
competitor in the WWE. So having her have matches with the match, I'm happy with the finish. Swiss PFC wasn't here. It doesn't do it for me. This feud between Damage Control PFC, they've explored that already. I feel like they've already juiced as much interestingness out of it as they possibly can. I'm already starting to see the tea leaves here. I have a feeling that Raquel is going to move on. The semifinal is going to be Raquel versus Dakota Kai, and PFC is going to cost Dakota Kai. We're going to go back down this rabbit hole of Dakota Kai, PFC, which makes sense. They took her out. She was out for a couple months because of the PFC. But Denise, I do not give a shit. PFC cannot get anything that makes me want to glue my eyes to the screen. At least not yet.
And so you're like, I want to take my eyes off.
I want to put hot glue in my eyes. I want to shut my eyelids with staples when PFC is there.
Coming out with the all black and looking really badass in that way. I'm cool with that. The other thing that I think, and this is number 2, I think that this is the thing that's hurting them, is that I'm assuming Sonya Deville is the leader here, but as the leader, though, she's not coming. Here's the thing: when you have a faction and you have a leader, that leader has to have this big presence. They had somebody that was very, talkative and cut good.
He was just a little bit off, and I'm having a really tough time as a fan connecting with them, but oh
shit.
Hold on. You're gonna need to do some jumping jacks here.
The center of the room to turn. The Judgment Day is involved in the house. It says, man, Gunther can't avoid the Judgment Day vortex, and as world champion, you don't deserve to be in that vortex, shaking my damn head. So, Santi, I gotta tell you, man, while I was watching Raw, I got a text from somebody. I won't mention anybody who or what. Somebody texted me and was like, man, ended up in an argument. Because they were like, Gunther doesn't have it. Gunther shouldn't be champion. Gunther's not good. This and that. And my argument was, no, absolutely not. He is stuck here in this Judgment Day angle that I think is sort of bringing Gunther down. I agree with Sheldon Jackson super chat here because look, Gunther has been doing this. He's had several matches now with Damien Priest, and now he's in this with Finn Balor. The Judgment Day is involved in this. This to me, the Judgment Day has now become, at least for the men's side of things, it feels like the skunk you're trying to avoid so you don't freaking get sprayed and end up stinking. But unfortunately, it's happened to Gunther. And I do think that Gunther is a great champion. He has just been stuck in a feud that took too long to finish off with, that even continued even after it already felt done. And now he's in a feud with Finn Balor and the Judgment Day that isn't really feeling necessarily like hot stuff. So I ended up in this argument defending Gunther and sort of just saying the reasoning being that he is stuck in this Judgment Day vortex now.
Yeah, I think the feeling of him feeling like he's stuck in this Judgment Day vortex is predominantly because this isn't his feud. He's just there. And a champion shouldn't just be an auxiliary third party, third wheel piece to the feud that's going on. Because this is a Finn Balor, Damian Priest feud through and through. It is. And even the Survivor Series match was pretty much just an addition to the Damian Priest and Finn Balor feud, because we had the same finish of SummerSlam happen again. And it does sort of feel like we're in this rinse, wash, repeat cycle for Gunther, where he's just sort of there having the World Heavyweight Championship, trying to make this feud feel bigger than it is, the Damian Priest and Finn Balor feud, by adding the World Heavyweight Championship to it. And by adding the World Heavyweight Championship to this feud, it brings Gunther down to this feud. But we want Gunther to be doing bigger and better things. I'm okay with Gunther versus Finn Balor. I'm okay with Gunther versus Damian Priest. If they're actually feuds for Gunther, it's just that they keep using those two guys as matches for Gunther, but in the process building a feud for one another and not Gunther. So it just sort of feels like Gunther is in a bit of a rat race until he can get out of this and actually build a meaningful, lengthy, meaty feud for himself. I don't know. At this point, I'll take anybody. I'll take a feud with Tozawa. I'll take it. I'll take a feud with the Pure Fusion. It's not furthering or helping better legitimize the reign of Gunther, unfortunately.
My assumption here is that they have plans for Gunther. For example, once we get into Rumble, once we get into Mania and all of that, I have a feeling they have big plans for him. But the problem is they don't have anything for him from now until they get to those big plans. So he's just sort of, bouncing around, like you said, being part of feuds that aren't necessarily about him. And so that's kind of bringing down Gunther, because when he was Intercontinental Champion, he had this aura of, I'm coming out. But also, when he was Intercontinental Champion, he was defending the belt on a weekly basis. And you were seeing him against all types of opponents. And I really do think that is what helps Gunther a whole lot. So here's the thing, though. For Saturday night's main event, this match is now a triple threat. It's Gunther, Finn Balor, and Damian Priest, which adds to your point, Santi, about this ain't really about Gunther.
No. This is Beyonce featuring Destiny's Child. This is Damian Priest versus Finn Balor featuring Ludacris, featuring Gunther. This isn't his match. This isn't his feud. And that's why I think you, me, and so many people are just feeling like this is just filler. Like we're waiting for the real, like you said, the real Gunther feud down the line. Maybe that kicks off a Raw Netflix. That kicks off going into the Royal Rumble. You want to know what the problem partly is? It's that the fact that we've had CM Punk and Drew McIntyre both called their damn shot against Gunther and not get it. So we know that there's better feuds waiting in the wings for Gunther, but we've been stuck over the last couple of months with these feuds that's just aren't it for him, sadly.
You mentioned feuds in the wings sort of waiting around. There's another one. Ludwig Kaiser. They teased that for like a brief second that, hey, this feud, like they're going to break up at some point. That's another one that we're sort of like waiting for it to officially implode. And so, yeah, you're right. We are sort of on pause for Gunther. So hopefully that picks up and hopefully it doesn't ruin the aura. Get to that in a second. We got Bailey Darley here who says, I hated Wyatt 6 versus Final Testament because of Matt had meant to protect the face and loved the New Day segment. I can't wait to get into that. Thank you so much, Bailey Darley. We got John Taylor here who says, also notice you hit 190K, only 10. Now I'm like, it's going to take a little longer. I've been sort of going back and forth on this, but eventually
300K because I just hit it.
Love others for sure. We also got Bailey Darley here who says my prediction for main events is Io, Gunther, Cody, Drew, and Chelsea Green. Great predictions and picks there for the winners. We got John Taylor here who says Seth sad CM Punk left him on red for 11 years. I can't wait to get to that, Santi, because I have a rule about ghosting. You know, and he hates me. He's been in my shadow. All right, fine. That was pretty brief. Then we get to the Seth Rollins promo. And Seth, I thought this was so freaking funny because Seth comes out and he starts bringing out these receipts. He starts talking about how CM Punk, he used to idolize him. He used to be friends with him. He used to go and ask him for help. The reason he came back to the company was because he burned bridges everywhere else. He failed everywhere else. And let's face it, the money was good. And Santi, I thought, at first I'm like, okay, the crowd seems a little confused for a second, right? But then at the end of it all, they start chanting CM Punk's name after everything that Seth Rollins said here. And I thought, Seth Rollins got egg on his face. He brought up some pretty legitimate points that I thought that the crowd would boo. But they didn't. They sided with CM Punk in this.
I sided with Punk too. I love when we disagree that he sides.
No, I also side with CM Punk. Okay. Seth Rollins does have some good points though.
Does he? Okay. He didn't answer my text. Legendary heat. That's what they say. That they will feed. That this feud will feed and end world hunger. That's what they say. That's a thing.
I just knew chef's kiss. Whenever all of these people had Seth Rollins cut this promo when Punk was still with AEW, everyone had been like, yes, hallelujah. Because he has had such a controversial past.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they are willing to ignore it.
All right, my rule for this is 3 text messages. Okay, if someone sends you 3 text messages and you don't respond to that person, to me that should be a sign that they're probably ghosting you. Now, if you send more than 3 text messages and that just they don't respond, that's it. I'm not gonna bug them anymore. Just gotta take the L. You're being ghosted and move on from there. I don't know. Is that too
no? I think no. I
okay. I'll beg 3 times. Hopefully in some upcoming show. The table. Because she's also a fan favorite. Myself for these trips to come out. I'll circle back to you on that one.
Who knows? Like, one of the things that has me in the mindset of like maybe they will is the fact that Triple H has all of a sudden brought Shinsuke Nakamura out of obscurity, and maybe he's just willing to do that with Finn Balor because Shinsuke and Finn have sort of been 2 sides of the same coin. The shoulda, woulda, coulda fan clubs, and they did it with Shinsuke. Maybe they'll do it with Finn, but this isn't the right moment for Finn. It's just not right. So
it wasn't the right moment for Shinsuke either, mind you. I wasn't on board with that. I wasn't a fan. Okay, I was not on board. Are you on board?
So cool. Just because he's so cool. Look, the only reason I'm cool with it is because I've waited for so long. It didn't. Some people say it felt rushed with Shinsuke, but it also, in my mind, didn't because we've been down this path with Shinsuke for so long. I wished it was in a feud, like they had told a better story, but beggars can't be choosers. Shinsuke Nakamura fans can't exactly be picky choosy about when Shinsuke gets his push. If they're gonna give him his push now, then just do it. You're not gonna get any backlash from me.
Oh man, well you know what? I wasn't a fan. I didn't like the match. I also felt that it was too rushed. I just wasn't here for it. But going back to Gunther though, when it comes to someone taking off the World Heavyweight Championship off of him, I want it to be like the same situation where when he was Intercontinental Champion, that we were like, oh my God, who's gonna be the person that takes the title off of Gunther? I want it to be that exact same way with the World Heavyweight Championship. I cannot believe I have to do this again. I finally got down to my proper breathing. I love it. They just over PFC or me
that out into the East. Come out with them.
No, he came out with them, didn't he?
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay, I don't actually know. I don't know if that was supposed to be like the shock return of Paul Ellering, because he was taken out and written out for a couple of weeks by the man when he got put in that mandible.
Oh, it's a return, according to our chat. Okay, we're good. People pay better attention than we did.
But that's not our fault. That's just a demonstration of how lackluster that was. And maybe it was also the commentary work return of Paul Ellering.
Yeah, I remember
he
that.
Hit Paul Ellering
I was super pissed about it. Yeah, I remember that. And I was like, why is he going in and saving The Miz? The Miz isn't even one of his guys. See, this has been so unappealing that I don't even remember the biggest spot of this entire story, the biggest moment, the big thing. Don't even remember it.
Well, again, it's not your fault. I think this match was like aggressively fine. I don't think that I have any negatives about it. Again, the cool spots and with everybody, the Nikki Cross coming out. What I will say is there was a lot of shock online of the Wyatt Six losing. I'm fine with it because now they don't have this like aura of they have to win all the time. Now they can enter into matches and feuds, and it can really be a toss-up because every time that they were in the ring with American Made or anything to do with Chad Gable, I just always thought that they were unstoppable and unbeatable. I'm glad that this first loss is out of the way so that their upcoming matches and feuds can have that feeling of anybody could win. But it did sort of feel a little bit underwhelming how they lost. I don't think that
the finisher stinks, Santi.
The finishers isn't great, but also the big moment was this like, okay, the Paul Ellering return, right? It was a big moment that didn't feel like a big moment. So compounding everything, it wasn't a great, tidy little package there at the end.
I feel you, man. I'm sorry. I'm just not on board with this. And I it's just a part of the show where I'm like, all right, this isn't for me. It's probably for somebody else. Great. But we got John Taylor here who says congrats on 300K, Santi. We also got Bailey Darley who says, well done, Santi, on 300K subscribers. We also have the Beth Jr. who says, my prediction is Liv and Cody retaining at Saturday night's main event. John Taylor says the crowd saw CM Punk as that Luigi dude. I know you know you know.
Move on.
Okay. John Taylor says...
Move on.
All right. I looked at you for guidance, Santi. Did you know
Move on.
I looked at you. What are we going with here? All right, John Taylor says, Phil may be an a-hole, but he's our a-hole, says John Taylor. Steven Martrulli says Seth will be the heel versus Punk. Fans will turn on him. Oh, 100%. I felt that Seth Rollins was the heel in this for sure.
Seth Rollins, okay. So I do think that eventually that's going to be hit home a little bit more. But they kind of just took one big step with Seth being heel, and then Sami Zayn went out there. We didn't really talk about that, by the way.
That's true. I should bring that
Sami Zayn went out there, and in that interaction,
basically, it was Sami saying, Seth, you are sounding like Drew McIntyre. That was the gist of this.
Part of the knees. That's how big the Roman Reigns aura is. That he's driving narratives for shows that happen on entirely different nights of the freaking week. That's the tribal chief power right there, Denise.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. That's the thing that I love to see. Dang, I can't even. I'm excited about all of this. I'm excited about what we're seeing. I want to see Drew McIntyre. Do you think that he is going to get that World Heavyweight Championship? Do you think it'll happen?
The World Heavyweight Championship?
Yeah.
I think it's inevitable. I really do think that it is. It's funny because like that picture, even though it feels like it's so narrow right now with Gunther and Damien and Finn, when you have an eagle's eye view at the real contenders, because I don't think it's Finn and Damien, it's got some pretty nutty names. Like Seth Rollins comes to mind, Punk, Drew McIntyre. I mentioned earlier in the show that I think part of the reason why we're so down on Gunther and Finn and Damian Priest is because we had those two guys, Punk and Drew McIntyre, call out for that title shot against Gunther, and we never were able to cross that bridge. And just knowing that that bridge is somewhere down the line is part of the reason why Gunther's feud might feel a little bit stale, but it also leads for a lot of excitement down the line for the likes of Drew McIntyre to get these world title opportunities. I think 100% we're going to see Drew McIntyre get a world title opportunity. I'm confident he's going to win the world title because this Drew McIntyre is the best Drew McIntyre that I've ever seen, and he keeps getting better month after month after month. Literally, just take Drew McIntyre at this exact same time last year, December 2023, and this version is infinitely more interesting, more dangerous, and far more of a lucrative feeling potential future world champion.
He feels like money. That's what he feels like. Just money. And I can't wait to see him become world heavyweight champion. I want to see him rub it in everybody's face. I want to see him be real petty with it, like the kid that doesn't want to share his toy. That's what I want to see with Drew McIntyre. But we got Drew Ninja 77 here who says, just got home from Raw. The WWE that wasn't Dominic Mysterio. So to hear them now for the New Day was just insane. But I loved two things, Santi. One, that this started backstage and that they did Xavier Woods carrying the camera because you were seeing what they were. Exactly. That was my favorite part.
Stabbing motion from the New Day to really get this crowd reaction was then calling the cameraman Stu, Don.
Wasn't Kofi Kingston for doing this to Biggie, and people were so mad about it. And I feel like seeing the crowd and the way that they booed tonight, I felt like it sort of, just went to it really went to show how idea here. But it's so funny because we're talking.
Honestly, I can I give you my wow. See, here's my phone. Here's my purple mouse to cap a illustrious career. So it could go in, honestly, a couple different ways in that one.
Dude, I'm looking at this and now I'm thinking, yeah, Dakota Raquel, that makes the most sense on the left side. Lyra, oh God, Lyra and Natalia, I think would probably have the best match on the other side of things. And then, oh God, maybe and then that's where I get stuck. Honestly, Santi, that's where I get stuck. And it was with the.
Or I've been on the record saying that I want Super Cena. I need him to win everything in this last run. Just really like hammer it home. Give him all of that. And it's gonna be Rollins and Moxley and possibly Chris Hero as the Shield. And it was Vince's call to put Roman Reigns in there, and that was absolutely the right call to make. Because if it was the other way with.
So I could just ask you anything.
Anything you like.
Here's Just Atlas.
You remember the time when he was about to be fired, shielded himself. He had to live in the shadow.
All right, there are the highlights. Now I can show you guys what else happened on the WWE tonight. Here's the full recap of the show. Here's the main event that we talked about with Rhea and Raquel. Anything goes. It did feel worse. I thought the New Day had a great segment. New Day doubled down on Jeff and Big E, and they got legit heat from the crowd. This is like the worse than Dominic or worse than Solo or Roman. Man, they were heated tonight. New Day are heel for the first time ever. I did like how it's crazy how the two most over babyface tag teams in the company, the New Day, DIY, they turned heel in the same week. Gargano and Ciampa are bad guys. Kofi and Xavier are bad guys. When the last time we saw Kofi as a heel? I can't remember. Kofi's been a babyface his whole career. He hasn't been a heel really. Xavier Woods hasn't been a heel. This is the first time that the New Day are heels. I hope they stay heels. I wonder if they'll change the theme music because if they're gonna be heels and they're gonna get booed by the crowd and get this heat, then they can't have that New Day shit. You can't be dancing with pancakes or bootios or all that shit. Maybe we should probably change the theme song. Change their theme song. And change their attires. No more of this New Day shit. Because it wouldn't make sense. Especially when they kicked out Big E. No more saying it's a New Day. Yes, it is. No, I think they should reinvent their character, change the entrance, change the theme song, change the way how they cut promos. If they're gonna be healed, then and they're gonna get hit by the crowd, you gotta reinvent them. Alright, so we did get Lyra advances the tournament. She beat Selena and Ivy Nile in an okay match. Man, but whatever, they're very decent. Lyra had a good performance tonight. We did get a very good segment with Seth Rollins called out CM Punk. He called CM Punk a fraud. We got this Sami Zayn. Drew McIntyre blindsided Sami Zayn once again, hyping up that match for Saturday night's main event. The Pure Fusing Collective distract Dakota Kai against Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan obviously won. This match felt wise. It was very short. It was like, what, 4 or 5 minutes? Maybe? And Liv Morgan won. I don't know what we're doing with this fasting, but it's not going anywhere. They're not doing anything. So, yeah. Drew McIntyre planned to eliminate Sami Zayn and Jey Uso. So I guess he was the one that took on Jey Uso. I don't know why. I'm not really interested in that. We've been there, done that. We already seen Drew feud with Sami and Jey earlier this year. And I think last year too. So I'm not interested in that. It's just a filler feud to give Drew something to do until we figure out what to do with Drew McIntyre if we're gonna be in the world title scene. I would like if he faked Braun Breaker, but I don't know. We got the final testament and the Miz, Paul Ellman made a return to help them beat the Wyatt Sith. The Wyatt Sith suffered their first loss. We saw Uncle Howdy pin for the first time in the company. First time on television, Uncle Howdy was pinned. Now, it's clearly setting up for a one-on-one match with Uncle Howdy and Karrion Kross. CM Punk says Seth freaking Rollins is second string. Man, they're really hyping up Punk and Rollins. I hope we see these two in the Royal Rumble and see who eliminates who, and then we'll see who goes on to WrestleMania. Now, this is how the show opened up, with Judgment Day laid out Priest and Gunther. Adam Pearce added Priest to the World Title match to make it a triple threat. So there you have it. That's how we got triple threat. I thought the first hour was very good. Everything with the Judgment Day, Balor, Priest, and Gunther were very good. The Wyatt Sith and the Final Testament were pretty good. Punk and Rollins was very good. The New Day was that was great. Oh, there's Braun Breaker. Was he on? I guess he was on TV. But it was a backstage segment. Logan Kaiser slapped Braun Breaker, so clearly these two are gonna be feuding. Well, Sammy took the pinfall at Survivor Series, so he's not getting a title shot for a while. We're setting up Ludwig and Braun Breaker. By the time they have to do something.
Liv Morgan.
Well, let's see what JD from New York had to say. I'm going to show you guys his review and see what he had to say about Monday Night Raw tonight. And after that, I will talk about the news and rumors and everything else in WWE.
Out tomorrow, and then we are going to do that leading into Tuesday Night Titans, episode 76, man. It's going to be a fucking absolutely lit show tomorrow. You don't want to miss Jason and I tomorrow night, man. It's going to be fucking bad. There's a lot of big stories. We're going to give you the fucking real pro wrestling discussion that this community needs, man. So, it'll be a banger show. I'm going to get that Ray Phoenix video out tomorrow. It should be reasons why this man will not finish out a 15-year contract, and the Mets will be in a fucking hole that they are going to owe money to Juan Soto. Just a ridiculous contract. A ridiculous contract. Now, I don't know why he didn't want to play with the Yankees. I mean, a much more respected franchise here in New York City. They're both, I can't stand either one of them. But, I mean, looking at the Yankees' pitiful playoff this year, World Series this year, maybe that's all Juan Soto needed. I don't know, man. Just a hunch. Just a hunch. But for the Mets, I don't know, man. You guys may be over the moon about this. I just feel like it's going to be a move that's going to come back and bite you guys in the ass. We'll see how it plays out. Monday Night Raw tonight. How that played out. It wasn't the most exciting show. Yes, Bobby Bonilla all over again. Yes, you are correct. It's Bobby Bonilla. We will get Solid Monster's take on this tomorrow. Because the news broke last night. He didn't actually. I'm sure right now, that Solid Monster's talking about what match tonight. We don't know if they're going to add maybe a sixth match on Friday Night SmackDown. We'll see what happens on Friday. But tonight's show basically was a layup show. They gave the ladies 75% of Monday Night Raw and filled in the gaps with all of the other important things that are happening in WWE. Seth Rollins got a promo segment with Sami Zayn tonight. Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre got into it. They were announced one-on-one. So Saturday Night Main Event got leveled up with Sami Zayn going one-on-one with Drew McIntyre on Saturday night. The New Day segment was fucking great tonight. Obviously, we got the heel turn last week, which was one of the best heel turns all year in all of pro wrestling, with the Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston turning heel on Big E. And their explanation was supposed to be tonight, and they got some nuclear, legit fucking hatred from the audience in Wichita, Kansas tonight, man. That was great. So much so, I couldn't even hear what they were saying or what they needed to explain. They got booed out of the building that Xavier Woods threw down the microphone and refused to even cut a promo anymore. They walked away. Now, I'm sure that part was all done by design, but what a segment, man. Unbelievable. I love shit like that, especially when it's genuine and it's riding an emotional high because everybody loves Big E. That was fucking great. We'll go over what they tried to say on Monday night tonight a little bit later. Like I said, Drew McIntyre, he made his return last week. We got who attacked Jey Uso tonight. It wasn't really any major secret. It was Drew McIntyre. He said basically what we talked about last week. He's coming back to get revenge on everybody. He's in Scotland. He's watching Survivor Series. He sees CM Punk teaming with Roman Reigns. He sees Jey Uso back with Roman Reigns. He's like, no, man, this has got to be taken care of. I am going to be the judgment over all of these bad decisions. So obviously he's coming back for some sort of revenge because not only did he have CM Punk on the mind through all of this year, he never let the Roman Reigns situation go at all. And he's coming for what he believes is his. And he's not going to stop until he gets revenge. So he's back. He got on the Saturday Night's Main Event show. He's one-on-one with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn was out there tonight apologizing to Seth Rollins. He said that he felt like Seth Rollins was the one who attacked Jey Uso. Come to find out that wasn't the case. So he did some apologizing tonight. And then that's where Drew McIntyre came in and basically showed Sami Zayn what's going to be done, because he is definitely one of the culprits for teaming with Roman Reigns. He's not family. He's going to take out everybody that he feels has done him. We got the Women's Intercontinental Championship Tournament continuing tonight. Lyra Valkyria, Ivy Nile, and Zelina Vega. That was your only tournament match tonight. Dakota Kai went one-on-one with Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Went one-on-one with Rhea Ripley tonight. That was the main event. And an anything goes match. And that was basically your Monday Night Raw. CM Punk had a great sit-down with, who was it? I forgot her. Mackenzie Mitch. I don't know who the fuck it was. He sat down with somebody. Great interview tonight. And he basically went over exactly why he doesn't hate Seth Rollins. To Nassau Coliseum on Long Island. Post. I want to thank you guys as always for joining me. And Zelina Vega, that was your only tournament. Who was it? I forgot her. Mackenzie Mitch. I don't know. We got 3 more weeks till Netflix. I can't wait. It's going to be great. And Monday Night Raw is on the road to Nassau Coliseum on Long Island for Saturday night's main event. Should be a great show. And we will go over the preview predictions as well tonight. Give you a little rapid fire predictions right here on the Monday Night Raw post. I want to thank you guys as always for joining me. Jackie Redmond, that's who it was. There you go. For the end of the year, I'm pretty confident we will. On OTS. And as always, tomorrow night, 8:30, Tuesday Night Titans, episode 76. Solid Monster and myself will be going over all the news in the world of pro wrestling tomorrow night for what will be a very dynamite, explosive episode of Tuesday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw starts off with the man, the World Heavyweight Champion, Gunther. His match at Saturday night's main event was against Finn Balor one-on-one for the World Heavyweight Championship, and that has now been changed. To who and what? Let's figure it out. Gunther made his ring entrance. Very casually dressed. They show clips of Finn Balor. You can dead that discussion right now. Gunther should not be a babyface ever. It's ridiculous. So they show clips of Finn Balor attacking Gunther last week, both of which are heels. He smiled. He said, Balor has made a grave mistake, and he now has his undivided attention. He assured everyone that Saturday night's main event would not end up like Survivor Series did for him. He was interrupted by one half of the tag team champions, Finn Balor, along with Dominic Mysterio, Carlito, and J.D. McDonough. On his way to the ring, he told Gunther he could have given him the title match like he deserved, but he messed with him by giving it to someone who did not deserve it, like Dirty Dom. There's another one of those not-so-subtle clues as to Balor and how he feels about the remaining Judgment Day members. Balor may be booted from Judgment Day. I don't know how, I don't know where, I don't know when, but Balor may be booted by the rest of Judgment Day because these little pot shots continue to be happening every single week. And they're mostly aimed at J.D. McDonough tried to say something to him and kind of level with him, tone him down a little bit, calm him down. Carlito is just oblivious to everything that's going on. Liv Morgan's picked up on it. So Balor clearly is setting himself on a higher pedestal than the rest of Judgment Day. But like Damian Priest, Balor needs Judgment Day to get where he needs to go. So when is that day going to come when I do believe the rest of the group kicks Finn Balor out of the group. Dominic Mysterio is going to take over the leadership role of this third iteration that we see of Judgment Day. Dominic did stare at him when he said that. Balor says he's right. That Saturday night's main event will be different than Survivor Series because he, Gunther, is going to lose his title. Gunther told Balor he didn't earn that title match on Saturday. He says it was his audacity in claiming this title match was deserved. He deserved it. And that he was champion, and that got him a title shot. Gunther said 8 years ago, Balor became the first WWE Universal Champion. And back then he looked up to him. He said it faded away over time, not because I chose to, but because you chose to start cutting corners, and you chose to start taking shortcuts, and you chose to align yourself with the Judgment Day, and you chose to hang out with weirdos in the clubhouse. You chose to play second fiddle to Damian Priest. I don't really see any lies here from Gunther. You know, Gunther always tries to cut you down, but when he does, he cuts you down with honesty. He cuts you down with the truth. So not only is he the ring general and he wants to defend the title with honor, wrestle as champion with honor, win with honor, he basically lets you have it with upfront honesty as well. He doesn't sugarcoat anything. Love it. He said now he looks down on him. 8 years ago, you were the best in the world for one night. Gunther said he is the champion. He will be for years to come. He is the best in the world. He's right now at a level where nobody can touch him. So Carlito suggested they enter the ring at Judgment Day, step onto the ring apron because they had enough of what Gunther was saying. They were obviously upset by his harsh truths. Damian Priest's music played. He came out. He knocked over Carlito and McDonough, ran through them with a double clothesline in the aisleway. He then beat up Dominic and Finn Balor. Balor entered the ring. Gunther took him out. Gunther then hit Priest with a clothesline and punched away at him. Gunther then goes to the outside, cleared the announce desk, set up a move on Priest, but Balor attacked Gunther first and stopped that. Balor then threw Priest into the ring. He left off the ring apron with a coup de grace on Gunther. Priest starts getting back to his feet. He fought back against McDonough, Dominic, and Carlito in the ring. Balor attacked Priest at Saturday night's main event. Now, what happened after this was the more important of the situation. Adam Pearce, after this segment was over, we go to commercial, we come back from commercial, Judgment Day is in the back. Adam Pearce walks up to all of Judgment Day, notably Finn Balor. And he told Balor that he spoke to Gunther after what just happened in the ring. And as a result of what happened in the ring, the world title match at Saturday night's main event is now a triple threat match. It will no longer be Finn Balor versus Gunther one-on-one for the World Heavyweight Championship. It will now be Finn Balor versus Gunther versus Damian Priest in a triple threat match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at Saturday night's main event. Balor said, you know what? Fine. I'll tell you what, though. Next week, McDonough are going to beat the War Raiders. He's going to beat Gunther and win the World Heavyweight Championship. He's going to beat now both Priest and Gunther to win the World Heavyweight Championship. This is what is coming for Finn Balor. He's not going to win the World Heavyweight Championship and absolutely losing those tag team championships next week against the War Raiders, which Adam Pearce made official. Judgment Day is not allowed at ringside against the War Raiders next week. I like the change to the triple threat match because, let's be honest, I honestly think Balor versus Gunther on Long Island, though both are great professional wrestlers, there's not one guy in that match that fans could be emotionally invested in more so over the other. It was very, very weird that they went about that by putting two heels in a world championship match, and you don't really know as a fan who you're supposed to cheer for. So I think we all kind of predicted with that one-on-one match that Damian Priest would probably interject himself into that match because, let's be honest, from what we saw at SummerSlam and what we saw at Survivor Series, Finn Balor interjected himself in both matches with Priest and Gunther. He was the direct effect as to why Damian Priest lost the championship and then Gunther beat Priest in Survivor Series. So I think we all kind of figured out that if it was a one-on-one match with Balor and Gunther, that Priest would probably get in there and cost Balor, and then we'd be on our way to a triple threat match, presumably at Monday Night Raw on January 6th. Netflix debut. I'm glad that they're not going about that this way. I like that Damian Priest is now added because it breaks up the heel versus heel dynamic, number one. Number two, it makes the match a little bit more unpredictable because what I just mentioned was probably the outcome of the match. So I like the fact that they made the change because now it gives fans a reason to cheer for someone in said match instead of having it both be two heels. I'm okay with this decision. Triple threat match, World Heavyweight Championship, Balor, Priest, Gunther, Saturday night's main event. Should be a very good triple threat match, and I'm looking forward to it. We got the Final Testament. This is Karrion Kross, AOP, and The Miz. They went and battled the Wyatt Six in a 8-man tag team match. This was Uncle Howdy, Eric Rowan, Dexter Lumis, and Joe Gacy. Now, a lot of people wanted this match to take place in Survivor Series and have it be a standard elimination match. Survivor Series classic elimination match, 4-on-4. They did not do that. They saved it for tonight. It went 9 minutes. And a surprising turn of events, Uncle Howdy was pinned by Karrion Kross. And we saw the return of Paul Ellering. He's now back with the Final Testament. This was the first Wyatt match since September, where they battled the Alpha Academy, or American Made, I should say. Bo Dallas wrestled, obviously, with his Uncle Howdy mask. Everybody was dressed up. Other members wrestled without their masks. Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy, and they were all out there. They went right into a commercial break as soon as the match started. So, Miz sits across from his sister Abigail right at the top. They went to a commercial break. We come back from the commercial break. Final Testament was in control. Joe Gacy was in there. He made a hot tag to Eric Rowan. Rowan had Miz pinned. AOP broke over. Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy got rid of them with dives.
Listen to
Uncle Howdy
nice
tagged
match
in.
in September.
He starts to beat up the Miz until Karrion Kross tags himself in. Uncle Howdy went for a dive, but Scarlett tripped him up on the outside. Now, Nikki Cross, don't know where she came from. I do genuinely believe she came from underneath the announce table. All of a sudden, Scarlett is laying up against the announce table on the outside. Nikki Cross, who is obviously portraying Sister Abigail, she's got that creepy mask decked out. And she's doing some weird motions with her head. Screaming. And she waves to her. Uncle Howdy went for Sister Abigail on Cross because of this distraction. Miz saved after Miz, but all of a sudden returning to the Final Testament was Paul Ellering, who threw white powder in Uncle Howdy's face. Cross gave Uncle Howdy his F5, which he calls the final prayer. And Karrion Kross pinned Uncle Howdy 1, 2, 3 as the Final Testament beat the Wyatt Six. The match itself really didn't do anything for me, man. I'm gonna be brutally honest with you. The match itself didn't do much for me. You know, it's. I don't want to sit here and flame the Wyatt Six. I don't. They cut better vignettes and promos than they do anything else. And I'm starting to notice a pattern. They've been off TV for quite some time. They don't really have an active role on the show. I feel like with them, it's now venturing into mostly theatrics and saving them for special moments. And
This match went 15
really
minutes.
using
This match
them
went 20
sparingly.
minutes. If
Why?
we need to match, go 25 minutes.
Like, I get you want them to be a special attraction. But if we don't really see them on a week-to-week, semi-weekly basis, how are we supposed to really care about what these guys are doing and how are we going to get that story across? They seemingly have now found themselves in a disconnect with what the theme, with what Bray Wyatt was going through. Everything Bray did off screen or off the Monday Night Raw show in a vignette or in a promo, everything he did away from the ring, it was great. Everything he did away from the ring, everything he said was great. Everything Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six do away from the ring, great. But somehow they get lost in translation. Whatever they do away from the ring does not translate to what they do in the ring. And now we're suffering the same problem. It also doesn't help that A, The Miz is fucking boring. B, AOP, there's no equity built up in AOP. Nobody gives a shit. I'm just being brutally honest. Nobody cares. Nobody cares in AOP. Two big dudes could destroy anybody on the roster. Could be a great tag team if you actually want to do something with them. Nobody gives a shit. And Karrion Kross is the one I feel bad for most because I just feel like he's finally starting to just get what he needs to do. You're starting to see Kross finally settle into something that's working for him character-wise. And then it all just goes to shit. It honestly may be best at this point. Does Karrion Kross need the final testament? Ask yourself that question. Don't you feel that AOP and The Miz would eventually bring Kross down? Don't you think he'd have a better opportunity to get over on his own just by himself? Like, I understand you wanting to put a group around him because you didn't really know where his character was going. You didn't even know what the fucking character was. Give him a new group. Give him a leadership role. Have him be the guy who speaks for everybody else.
Because the Miz is fucking boring. The Miz is fucking boring. AOP, no one gives a shit. They could be a great tag team if they could. But the Fiend don't give a shit. The Fiend don't give a shit. And I feel bad for Karrion Kross. I love Karrion Kross since he came.
And to go back to the Wyatts, I'm not feeling it, bro.
Man, Karrion Kross, they fuck.
I'm not feeling it.
They wait.
I don't know what it is, man. Is it just the hokey presentation of the Wyatts? You know the Wyatt family, you know, they had the big entrance, but when they got in the ring, man, you know, that I feel like the Wyatts are still, they're not humanized. Like we don't hear from Joe Gacy, we don't hear from Eric Rowan, we don't hear from Dexter Lumis, we don't hear from them. All they are characters with fucking goofy masks.
Mm.
How do we get people to actually care about the story that they're telling? Because there is a translation that's lost. They're making the same mistakes that they did with Bray. I don't think anybody really cared about this. I don't. How do we get the Wyatts to feel a little bit more important? How? We have tag team titles. We got a group here that has solid tag team continuity if you want to do that with them. Joe Gacy, Dexter Lumis. Joe Gacy, Eric Rowan. Eric Rowan, Dexter Lumis. Freebird rule could happen with the Wyatts. Uncle Howdy could go out there and do what he's got to do. Why does he need to remain special? But when Bray was at the height of the Eater of Worlds gimmick, we saw him almost regular. Why can't we go back to that? Why can't we do that?
We're almost regularly.
Uncle Howdy needs to be a recurring character on the show. They gotta find a nice balance between what they do with him as a character and what they do with him as human Bo Dallas. Keeping them off television and not having them wrestle since September, it's not a good look. It's not. That's how you get people to tune out very quickly. Something needs to change there. Karrion Kross pinned Uncle Howdy. Probably the biggest pin of his entire career in WWE. That is a statement victory. Could have pinned anybody else in that match. They had him pin fucking Bo Dallas as Uncle Howdy. Granted, it was powder to the face by Paul Ellering, and I'm sure that there will be a rematch, and Uncle Howdy will get his revenge. But that was a statement victory for Karrion Kross. What happens after that, I don't know. But the two things I want you guys to really keep mind of. Like there's a translation problem. What the Wyatt Six group is doing vignette-wise and having the story translate to the in-ring action. We need to see more of them. Kross has finally found something that works for him, and I'm starting to think we don't need Final Testament as a group anymore.
Yeah, me too.
I think they may end up holding him back. Because as a group, nobody cares. I have a feeling that we'll actually get behind Karrion Kross if it was just him and Scarlett.
Yeah.
Just from what my eyes see watching the show.
Yeah.
CM Punk.
Well, I think I'm gonna stop the video. I don't want to make it too long like last time. I'm gonna stop the video right here. Just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. Oh, actually, wait a minute. I probably should. I actually forgot to I actually want to talk about the news and rumors. I almost forgot. My bad. Made a new move here. Wanted to show you guys the news and rumors here. Yeah, there's one right here. I think I already showed you guys that one. I think I did. Here's the news and rumors in AEW. Ricochet said without him, there is no AEW.
Realizing your life purpose, your vocation, is a process of.
I don't know what it is with the AEW locker room, man.
So we got Pentagon Jr. making SmackDown debut next week. We hope Pentagon Jr. A major push for Finn Balor planned for 2025. I hope so. I think they will kick out Finn Balor and Judgment Day. I think we will see Finn Balor go solo. We might see the Demon.
That WrestleMania vibe is in the air.
The Rock and Cody Rhodes top secret WrestleMania plans. Huge change coming to WWE. We might have a clue what Cody Rhodes might be doing at WrestleMania. As reportedly, Cody and the Rock film top secret vignette during one of the Rock movie premieres. Also, major change for WWE when they moved to Netflix. The original plan for New Day's heel turn on Big E. And the major injury to Bronson Reed, and it's not looking good.
There was some controversy this week involving former AEW star.
We got the abuse and neglect allegation against AEW and CM Punk. The Roster shake-up.
On SmackDown Friday night, we got important.
Alright.
But on Raw Monday night, gotta talk about this. Speak up.
The real reason New Day turned heel on Big E and shock angle on Raw. Big E, Kofi and Xavier turned on Big E on the 10-year anniversary. Some people felt like the reading was forced and not understandable, but he offered explanation for the real world and why they said things they said, and it actually made total sense. So these are the news and rumors here. The Roster shake-up, CM Punk neglect allegations, and then we got the heel turn on the New Day on Big E. Alright, now I think I can end the video. Very sorry for that. I only want to show y'all the news and rumors on WWE and AEW. So, alright. I guess I'll see y'all later. Until that time, this is Jacob Cast 2024. Hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more. I'll see y'all later.